Making a little update video on the 69 Nova. I got this car a while back in a estate sale. It'd been sitting up for a little while, not too long, but I got it running again. Now this car has a 454 with a Power Glide and a Dana 60. Looks like it was an old school Super Pro car. You know, it's got ladder bars, it's back half and everything. Anyways, when I got the car, I got it, you know, I basically just put some gas in. I cleaned the fuel, or drained the fuel filter out and everything, charged the batteries, and it got it to run and stuff, and drove it down the road. Well, car run okay-ish. It run, but you couldn't do burnouts with it or anything. You couldn't take off too hard, it would fall down on its face. Well, this car, it did have a tunnel ram on it at the time, and the carburetors, I think somebody just kind of slapped them together. They didn't really know what they was doing. They just put some big quick fuel carburetors on it, and I don't really know much about how to tune a tunnel ram or anything, but I ended up changing it out to a single 4-barrel just because I was ready to drive the car around and stuff. Now, I stole that carburetor off my F100. I think that's an 800 CFM Holley double pumper, and I got that intake from a guy I work with for free. So I just swapped all that stuff out real quick. I sucked taking that off there because it looked cool and all, but I just wanted to run and drive. I still got the intake. I got it in the shed or whatever, and you know, in the future I'd love to put it back on there with a different set of carburetors, try and maybe make it work right. This is just on here for now, and the car runs great. Yeah, I've been going around fixing all kinds of little issues on the car. Now, the car had a big chrome power brake booster and a master cylinder. I took that off, put a manual master cylinder on here, and you can see it's already rusted up. I was too stupid to paint it black or whatever before I put it on there. Now it's rusty. So the power brakes, they definitely wasn't working on this car. And somebody put a serpentine belt kit on here. None of the pulleys were lined up, and I kind of just been going through the car. The wiring, I found all kinds of wires in the trunk next to the fuel cell and some cardboard boxes, and they was hot wires just kind of dangling around in the trunk. And I found some exposed wires inside the car, all tied up and everything. One of the brake calipers on the back only had one bolt on it. This car's got 4-wheel disc brakes somebody's put on it. So I've been going around just trying to fix a bunch of little issues on it to try to, you know, make things good for it. I'd love to get it repainted that blue color on the fender, or what the inner fender's got. I think that's the factory color for the car. I guess somebody's going to do that because the block's color matched to the fender, and I love blue. Blue's my favorite color. I'd love to get this car repainted that color one day. With the tunnel ram intake, I tried making it work. I tried a bunch of different little things, what I can do to make the car run better. One of the wires, plug wires, was cooking on the header down there and burned up, charred. Yeah, it's just a bunch of little stuff. The throttle would hang halfway open. If you revved it up or anything, the throttle would hang and it'd just slowly go back down because it didn't have a return spring tied to like a coat hanger wire to reach something on the front of the motor. So this thing, it was kind of sketchy, and I've been trying to unsketch it so far. I just think this is a really cool old car. I love cars from the 60s. I've always dreamed of owning one. I finally got one. It's got an inspection sticker from 1991 on. I think it's really cool. You know, I guess that's probably around the time it might have got converted into a race car or something back in the day. The thing I'd like to mention was where I got the car, I really didn't know what motor I had. Now, I'm sure there's probably, you know, a bunch of guys out there could just look at it. That's a 454. That's a 427. That's 396. I really didn't know all the differences in them. Still trying to learn a bunch of this stuff. So, yeah, I could look at it and know, you know, tell it's a big block, but, you know, it says 427 over here on the inner fenders. And it says 396 in the door panels. So It kind of led to me being a little bit confused and not sure, but I did find a number on the back of the block. It says this is a 4-bolt main 454. And another cool little thing that I found on the car, back wheels back here. Inside the back wheels on the car, I found some guy's name. I'm not going to show it or say who it is, but there's some man's name's engraved inside the wheels with a number in there. I guess that might be the guy that originally had this car or built it back in the day. So that's a little cool thing I found. Now, as for moving forward into the future, what I'd like to do with this car is I'd like to take it to, take it to the drag strip and run it, see what it does, and there I can embarrass myself in front of God and everybody because I'm an amateur. But, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it'd be cool to take it to cruising and coast and ride around. Oh yeah, another thing, found the oil pan was damaged on this car. Had a big dent in it where previous owner, they told me he had drove it up on a curb or something like that and bent the oil pan up. And then I found it had it looked like a little piece of MIG wire stuck, burned to the bottom of the oil pan, left a little pinhole in it. And I patched it or whatever temporarily, but they ended up giving me a nice Moroso oil pan that they found that was bought for the car. I just got a lot going on. I'm trying to do things, and I do intend on pulling the motor to change that oil pan out though eventually. Anyways, JB Weld came in clutch on that fix. So yeah, that's about it.